What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I am back. We're back in the shop. This is a new video. I've been making videos, but for some reason they're not uploading, so I don't know what's really going on. So I decided to stop doing the videos for a minute, but I'm back at it. We're gonna try again to just keep uploading more content to get the channel growing, to show you guys what we're doing here at Sonic Speed Shop, and just keep putting out badass builds. That's the plan. At least that's what we're going to go for right now. So I just kind of want to give you guys an update of everything that's been going on so far as far as the shop, and as far as the whole business, Sonic Speed Shop. So we've been working really hard. It's been like 12-hour days almost every day for me at minimum, bare minimums, at least 12 hours. Just grinding away. I've got a couple projects that I'm going to show you guys that are in the shop and kind of explain what we plan on doing for the future of the shop and goals and stuff like that. So I kind of wanted to get that started. Without further ado, let's get to the video. Let's see what we got in store for you guys in the future. Let's check it out. All right, so the shop has been growing. I've been getting more and more people. Sorry for the fan noise. I got the coolers. It's getting warm. It's getting really warm in Bakersfield right now. It's already starting to get to 95 and stuff like that, and it only goes up from there. The average usually out here is about 110, 115, you know. That's like a normal hot day. So I got to have the coolers running. I'm sorry. Like I said, I apologize about all the wind noise and stuff like that, but we need them. We need them unless I'm going to be sweating buckets. Like I said, I'm going to show you guys what we got in the shop and the plans as far as what we're doing in the future, what our goals are, and how far we can push this thing. So I got this car behind me right here. This is Bieber's car. I don't know where Bieber's at. Bieber, if you're watching this, give me a call. I don't know what's going on with it, but we got to start working on Bieber's car. Need the keys for that. I had to pick up some keys for it just to, get it moving and stuff like that. And started running some tests on it and everything too as well. Got the Miata behind me right there. We're kind of holding off on the Miata build. I know I really wanted to get started on the LS Swap Miata, but I've got so many other projects that, it's overwhelming, or not really overwhelming. It's just, I don't have enough time to like fully devote a whole day working on the car. Like right now, the blue car, I ended up buying two Miatas. One is this blue one right here. I did a video on it. Like I said, I don't know why it wasn't uploaded, but I'll keep trying to upload it. I bought it from a guy out in Fresno, and he said it was running okay. End up finding out that the head gasket was blown, or freaking the head was cracked or something like that, because it was eating coolant like crazy. It was shooting completely, like it would smoke out the whole shop through the exhaust in a matter of seconds. It would fill up this whole exhaust with coolant smoke, which was not cool, and I knew I was going to end up pulling the motor out anyway and putting an LS in there, so I really didn't care. But if I was buying the car, to drive around and stuff like that, I'd be pretty upset. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the Miata. Right now I got the head off. It's going to be getting worked out and just checking to make sure it's okay. Put a new head gasket on there, and then I'll probably end up flipping this one, because this one, it's pretty rough. It's a good car for like a commuter car, but it's not a good starting point for, how crazy I want to get with the Miata. So I've got a red one outside. I'll show you guys that we gutted. It's completely gutted. Like there's nothing left on the car at all, to get started on the actual build of the LS Swap Miata. But if you can see up above me, we got this other car. This is a gray Cobra convertible that also needs a head gasket. So that's in the process. We're waiting on the engine shop to give us the A-OK to come pick up the heads. They've been there for about a couple weeks, and I'm just waiting on just to make sure the heads are okay, so we can switch out the gaskets and put the motor back together, send it to the customer, because this has been sitting for a minute. It's probably been like 3 weeks now, just waiting. We've got another car here. This is another customer, one of my friends, a good buddy of mine. This is his GT500. Same thing, not the same thing. I'm sorry about that. This needs a complete new engine. This is like I said, a GT500. I think it's the 5.4, 5.4 or 5.8, one of the two. But I think he's getting a new engine built by MMR, and I think my buddy's building it right now for him. So I'm just waiting on that. Whenever he's done with the engine, we'll grab it, we'll put it in the car. But I was told if he's taking forever, he'll just send all the engine parts to me, But I don't know for sure. I mean, it's just sitting here now, so we got to kind of figure out what we plan on doing with this thing. And then Sonic, we got to figure out what we're going to do with Sonic, because like I said, that's kind of, or I don't know if I mentioned this not before, but Sonic's been sitting here for a minute and the motor has been sitting even longer. The goal for Sonic was to literally be the absolute as fast as you can possibly go with the 4.62 valve, and that didn't really work out. I tried my hardest to make it work out. It just didn't. I mean, that's just the way it goes. So I've got the block. I'm going to start parting that stuff out because the goal is to go extremely fast now. I was planning on doing like a low sevens, like a 7.4, 7.3 in the 2 valve. And it was built for that, but the block ended up eventually cracking. Error on my fault, or on my part actually. We figured out that the injectors had gotten clogged with I think it was with fuel. I guess the fuel, something to do with the fuel. It ended up crystallizing and then clogging up the injectors. And I was running M1, so it was nothing but straight alcohol and then a couple of additives, which I think is what actually killed the engine for sure. That ended up clogging the injector, it leaned out and cracked the cylinder. So that's pretty much what's going on with Sonic. The new motor, it is going to be a Coyote. As much money as I can dump in that Coyote to make it go crazy fast. I've been seeing these cars go wild, and I want to build a Coyote. I want to build a fast Coyote. I'm thinking about like low 7 second, high 6 second car. And I know the chassis can handle it because that's how I was setting up for the 2 valve, but with the Coyote, I mean, 2200 horsepower, it's like nowadays it's like, yeah, that's achievable with the Coyote now, and still be able to drive on the street, which is ridiculous. So that's the plan with the 2 valve. No longer going to be a 2 valve, it's going to be a Coyote car. But in order to do that, I know I've got to upgrade the cage. The cage is it is a 850 cert cage. It needs to go to 650 or a 750 and then kind of play around which if the track is okay with it or not. But I figure I might as well overbuild it just so that I'm safe for whoever's driving it, because I might have the driver going up that fast, you know, or going that speed. I mean, sorry about that. Going that speed. I've got a lot of stuff going on right now, and going from 160 mile an hour usually up to like 180, high 170 mile an hour range. It's a completely different animal. It is really crazy, but yeah, I might, who knows? I might drive it every now and then, but that's pretty much the plan for all these cars behind me. And then also, like I said, Bieber's car, the Miata, the two customer cars, got to get those motors going. And I've got some bigger projects that I'm working on right now. I kind of took a little break right now to kind of just see if I can start filming some more and getting a new video out there. So I'm going to show you guys those projects too. And excuse the mess, the shop is pretty messy, a lot messier than what I would like, but I've been working pretty much all day to get both of these projects, you know, get back started on them, because I kind of took a break and I was working on a third project, and I'll show you that too as well. But we're almost wrapping up with that one. That one literally is like a tune and a couple other small things, because that one's pretty much done. And you guys seen it in my other videos. It's the Mercury Marauder. I'll show you guys the progress on that, and then we'll just check it out. So let's get to it. So car one, you can see our chassis one right here. This is a C10. I think it's like a 70s C10. There's another truck behind me. I don't know if you can tell what that is, but this one is a C10, and it's crazy because if you look at it, first of all, the body and the bed's off the car. It's got some nice wheels, some really badass wheels. It's on bags. It's got the fuel cell, so if it's got a fuel cell, you know it's got some power. So check it out. Behind here, a 4L80E and also an LT4 Corvette supercharged. Like I said, sorry about the noise if you guys can hear the fan, but this is a LT4 out of a Corvette that's planning on going in a C10 truck, which is ridiculous. And then, like I said, it's on bags, and it's going to be pretty bananas. It's going to be really nice. And this is the one I'm going to actually try to film a whole build on, because this one's going to be really clean. Really nice car. I mean, from the ground up, I've been working on this thing for a couple days, or actually a couple weeks now. Been just getting it all wired up and getting everything set up because this is going to be one real nice truck for sure. And then we got, like I said, I got another truck right here that I'll show you guys. Another bad one. Check that thing out. Freaking monster truck right now. This is a F-150 on literally like some 26-inch wheels that I haven't seen anything like this before, but this is pretty crazy. This is a really clean truck. It's dirty right now. It's Bakersfield. It gets really dusty out here. Even with like literally the whole shop sealed, it still somehow dust finds its way inside. But this is another badass truck. Another customer. We're end up doing a wire tuck on the engine bay. It is a small block Ford, a little bit different from what I normally do. I always usually do EFI stuff, so a little bit different. But nonetheless, it's all wiring. It's all the same thing. Just make it look really clean, make it work, and you know, hide it as much as you possibly can. You know, because that's what makes the best engine bay as far as wiring goes, and make sure that everything works the way it should. You know, so that's pretty much what the truck is. That's why I got all the wiring right here. I've been working on it, getting everything, all the wires that I need. I've been pulling them out, depending all the wires that I don't need and stuff like that, and just kind of mapping everything out. So I'm working on both trucks at the same time. One truck will get like 5 hours of my day, the other truck will get the other 5, and then I got another 2 hours to kind of figure out what I'm doing with the other cars. And as far as the other cars, like I said, the Marauder that's been in the shop the longest of all the other cars that are here is just about done. Man, this has been a chore with this thing. It's been a chore, but let's check it out. All right, so we got the blower on. You see the blower right there? Heck yeah. Little Ford SVT, you know, that ended up being a real pain for sure, because we put the whole Cobra swap, the timing cover, all the Cobra parts on the motor. Ended up finding out at the very end of it that the alternator doesn't fit. Like, that was literally the last thing I was going to plug to the car. So I got everything done on it and the alternator didn't fit. We found out that we have to either cut the frame, notch it to make the alternator fit, or start over and buy a little custom kit. So we ended up just starting over because I didn't want to really cut up a frame of a Mercury Marauder or a Mercury Marauder. You know, it's not the rarest of cars, but it's a pretty rare car as far as, you know, Ford stuff goes. So I didn't want to cut that stuff up. I wanted to keep it as original as possible. That way, if anything happens, because this is California, if anything happens, he can go back to stock with no problem, nothing, you know, too crazy or anything like that. But yeah, so that was the goal of it. Just make it to where it's clean, everything fits, and everything appears as stock as possible, because out here they are popping hoods. They're doing a whole bunch of weird stuff as far as California and being California compliant, you know, but they're doing a lot of weird stuff. So this one was built to appear as stock as possible. And I say that even though it's got a supercharger on there, but the supercharger says Ford. So we're hoping someone like a cop or something like that opens the hood, sees the Ford sign. He puts up a pretty good story of like, hey man, this is factory. It's a specialty car and stuff like that. Bought it like that. Hopefully they'll just, you know, go ahead and take off, you know, it's something like that. But we'll see. I mean, like I said, nothing. If you pop the hood and you don't know what you're looking at, it literally looks like a motor. There's nothing too shiny in the car that shows that it's aftermarket or anything like that. You got the Ford stamps. You got pretty much everything. So that was the goal of the Mercury Marauder. And like I said, I'm pretty much wrapping it up right now. So like I said, what the original plan was, put the Cobra stuff in there. That didn't fit. So I ended up having to literally build all the stuff, because they had a special kit for these swaps, but nobody, and I repeat, nobody was selling any of the parts. We ended up finding one part that someone was selling, but it was like half of a part. So we had to kind of figure out what we were going to do with that, and that ended up being the tensioner bracket. So I ended up just building an alternator bracket and building a couple other things. It turned out to me just building literally every single part from scratch, custom, you know, doing a cardboard, you know, design, and then cutting it out of metal, then trying to test fitting, taking it off. It took a while. It took a lot of time, but it is, for the most part, it's good to go now. And I'll show you exactly what I've been doing. So let's check it out. So starting with the intercooler, right here, not the intercooler, the heat exchanger, I guess you would call it, or whatever this thing is. Had to build brackets for that, which wasn't that difficult. That was honestly the last thing I did, but it ended up being pretty clean. I ended up getting to use another thing. I ended up using. Okay, so all the parts we bought a complete Cobra swap kit. A complete Cobra swap kit. I mean, everything to swap a Mustang, like a Mach 1 or an O1 Cobra. Everything to swap an O1 Cobra over to a freaking SVT supercharged Cobra. The whole kit. Literally, only thing we're using now is the supercharger and then that heat exchanger, or yeah, heat exchanger, I guess that's what you call it. But that's the only thing that we're using. Yeah, everything else I had to take off and then literally put back in the box because nothing else would fit. So I ended up literally putting all that other stuff back in the box, and I guess he's gonna either sell the stuff or do whatever he wants to do with it, because literally all we're using is a supercharger, the intercooler, the heat exchanger, and some tubes. That's literally all the things that we're using so far. I didn't even use the oil cooler, which is weird because we had to switch everything back to what, you know, the stock Mercury Marauder stuff was. So if you can see right there, I'm sorry, I'm moving away because the fan is literally right by the Marauder, and I don't know how the sound is, but I'm gonna go back to it right now. So just to check it out, like I said, you got the supercharger. It's all set up. It literally looks, if you're just looking at it, it looks like a factory Mercury Marauder factory engine, besides like the shine of this tube. But like I said, I wanted to make sure it looks as factory as possible, which I think I achieved. Nothing out of the ordinary. You know, you got your, you know, your belts. A lot of time was devoted into doing this coolant crossover tube, custom bracket for the alternator right down here, which also flipped it backwards. This is the only bracket piece that I was able to actually buy. Everything else besides this was completely custom. So did that, rewired the whole car, because for the Mercury Marauder, the intake tube comes on this side. So now the Cobra stuff, it goes on the passenger side. Had to rewire everything. The whole harness got rewired to make everything fit on this side. And then also the fuse box been moved right here. Made a cool little bracket right here too as well. And then, like I said, rewired everything too. And if you can see, there's no battery in the engine bay at all. So I also routed the battery to the trunk, which is cool because, like, you see this alternator wire right here. That's pretty much ran all the way from the alternator all the way to this box right here, which is the fuse box. From the fuse box all the way to the battery. Made it look really clean. It's all, you know, 2 gauge welding wire, which is honestly the best stuff that I ever used. So it's working out really good. Like I said, it's pretty much done. It just needs a tune and some small things, like a couple sensors are unplugged, but just plug them back in. But that one's pretty much done. That's the reason why I was focused on this all week and not really doing too much with the trucks. But now that this one's for the most part done, all it needs, nice little wash, put the wheels on, put the bumper on, connect a couple sensors, and then the hood's gone. He wanted to do a custom like cow hood or something like that, I guess. But I'm more of like a stock looking guy. I don't want to draw too much attention to myself, so I kind of keep the stock stuff. But he wants a crazy looking cow hood or something like that. I don't know. I try to convince him not to, but it is what it is. So yeah, that's pretty much it with the Mercury Marauder. And then I got a couple cars outside too as well that I'll show you before it gets a little bit too dark. So let's check them out. All right, so out here we got a Subaru. We got one of those, which is weird because the hood's popped, so I guess it's in its natural habitat. That's not mine. That's my buddy Gary's car. I don't know why he's got the hood popped. Something. Also, so this is the Miata right here. This is the red Miata that I end up buying for a killer deal, $100, you know, which is crazy. I think it was about $100, but yeah, this is the body that we're using. It ended up being a really nice body. A little bit of the frame rails on the Miatas, they're kind of like paper thin, so that's the only thing that we had to worry about. I got a new frame rail kit that I'm going to put underneath the car, so it really doesn't matter. But the body's straight. It's completely gutted, like completely gutted. I don't know if you can see that, but no engine. It's got the subframe still in there. It's on my little dolly, but the car is completely completely gutted, completely gutted. Another gutted car right here behind it, or at least the cab of the truck, of the LT4 truck. This is it right here. I got it on rollers as well as the Miata, just so I can get some space in the shop and work on the body, because to get the car started, or to get the chassis started, I don't need the cab at all. So we're gonna cab off, the beds off, to do all the wiring, all the plumbing, make it look really nice. I'm gonna put the cab on there, and then the cab will literally only have like the dashboard and some electronics in there. It won't have anything crazy. It'll be completely like one like what do they call them, like a one pin or a one clip to click it off for all the electronics, and pick up the cab if you want to. Another car, Cobra. This one is giving me fits. This one right here, it's acting really weird, and I want to describe it to you guys, but it's hard to describe. But it keeps dying. I'm like the fourth shop that's try to get work on this, like to try to make it work. And we've changed pretty much everything. We've done vacuum tests, compression tests, ECM test, wiring test, everything. It's got a weird misfire, which I know more than likely is a coil pack. I haven't really done too much with the coil packs, but that's not the main problem. The main problem is it just keeps dying. It wants to die like crazy. And it's random too, to where it doesn't really, there's not really an effect that you can like tell, like, oh, at this temperature it's dying. It just random times it wants to like lobe really hard and start to suffocate, and then it just dies completely. So we got to start working on that, kind of doing more troubleshooting to kind of figure out what's going on with that car. But if you can tell, I got a lot of projects, and right now you can only see me because I'm the only one here right now. I got a couple guys that come in and out. They do the small projects, get stuff done, but as far as the big projects, it's all me, which I enjoy because I like seeing, you know, things come from where they were, like really, you know, kind of messed up or bad. And I just like creating different cars and stuff like that, so I don't mind it. I like putting my touches on there, making sure everything's clean, everything's simple, and everything works, you know. So that's the main goal, and do it as quickly as possible because I don't like cars sitting. And like I said, this one's been sitting the longest, so this one has got the most of my attention for a couple days now. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's what's going on in Sonic Speed Shop. I wanted to show you guys what we've been doing. The plans, like I said, are to do more projects. I want to film this project. I want to film this project to kind of show you guys where we're at right now. I didn't really get to film everything that I did to the car, but I've got about 60 to 70 hours in this Mercury Marauder. And then also do a video on this truck because this one's going to be a little bit more time, not that much as far as hours goes, but like it needs the carburetor set up, and then like I said, also it needs all the wiring done. But definitely want to film more videos, so hopefully I'm going to try my hardest to just grind out. I'm going to grind as hard as I possibly can to freaking put out videos, just put out whatever I can, because you know, I'm here, might as well freaking show everything, all the cool stuff that I do. So that's the plan. We plan on doing a lot more projects once we kind of start getting our foot, getting the ball rolling. I mean, once we kind of get in our groove, because we're still figuring everything out. But once I get the ball rolling, we'll get back to the Miatas. We'll get back to the other personal projects, and we'll start doing some wild projects. I know the Miata is going to be a wild project because that's going to be an LS3 swap. That's what I'm thinking right now. It'll be an LS3 naturally aspirated 600 horsepower, you know, ripper that want to take it to like be like a street car / road warrior kind of car. Do a lot of different like track days, road courses, stuff like that, which will be pretty cool. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's going on with us. I want to give you, like I said, I want to give you guys a video, an update of everything that's going on. I'm going to try my hardest to keep filming and keep uploading and just keep putting out content for you guys. I hope you guys enjoy. I hope everything that you guys have got going on is going successful, or you guys are learning things, because every day I'm learning, every day I'm figuring it out. So I appreciate you guys for sticking with me. Thank you. And you can see behind me we're getting some banners because we're getting there. You know, we got some Hellcat Ford and LSX stuff, and then working on the business side of everything too as well. That's pretty new for me. This is my first business. I've been building cars and stuff like that for a while, but the business aspect of it is a little bit different. You know, it's a learning curve, but we're starting to get there. We're starting to kind of get our little groove, get our little notch. We haven't even done a grand opening, and all this stuff has been word of mouth, so that's been great. I still want to do a grand opening, so that's in motion right now. It just takes some time, and it takes a lot of planning. And right now I have very little of both. But whenever I do get some, we will do a grand opening here in the parking lot. Plan on doing about 30 to 40 cars, and then, you know, about 50 people or something like that, 50 to 60 people, and go from there. See how the Sonic Speed Shop year goes forward, I guess, and then keep rocking out. You know, keep building some badass cars, some badass builds. Show you guys some more badass film. Keep filming everything I possibly can and uploading, because I don't think the problem is filming for me. I think the problem is uploading. For, like I said, for some reason, some of my videos just don't upload. So we'll try it out. If you guys are, you know, some filming guys in California or in Bakersfield, hit your boy up. We'll figure something out, and maybe you guys can help edit, help film, help us out. You know, because that'd be great. That'd be one less thing I have to worry about, less time and everything like that too as well. But until then, it's me holding the camera, rocking out. Peace. I'll see you guys later. Okay, so I lied. I spent another about 45 minutes just cleaning up the shop, and it looks a little bit cleaner for my taste. And also, while cleaning up, I finished up the Marauder, put the bumpers back on, put pretty much everything back together. No more body panels on the floor or anything like that, so it's good to go. Had a couple things I had to change up in the fender well right here. I don't know if you can see that, but I put this little panel right here, just some ABS plastic right there to shield the filter, because this part is cut open. It's a factory cut, like it wasn't cut by scissors or anything like that, but the original fender has this little opening, and that's where the filter is at right now. So I just put this little ABS plastic to block it, just in case it ever drives like in the water or anything like that, and doesn't want to mess up the filter, you know. So did that, put it all back together. Now it's got to get washed up. It's got to get cleaned up. It's got some leaks. I'm going to talk to him, see if he wants me to fix those, because originally he just wanted me to put the supercharger kit on there, and it had a slow leak in the power steering, and also it has a leak somewhere near the transmission pan. I think the transmission was either overfilled or they didn't seal the pan right. But I'll go ahead and take a look at both of them just to kind of see what's going on, and then let him know if he wants to get that stuff fixed too as well. But for the most part, the Marauder is done. It looks really good. It's got the supercharger on there. We're going to clean the engine bay out. I've been looking and doing some research on, they got a new way to clean engine bays now. I think it's with like dry ice or something like that, like a dry ice detail. The thing looks crazy. I don't know if you guys seen that before or not, but it's really safe as far as, you know, not spraying water or anything like that in the engine bay, because, you know, you'll have some electrical issues. But some cars they don't, some cars they do. It just depends. But for these cars, you kind of run into electrical issues when you get it wet too often, especially the alternators. The alternators tend to go bad on the modular cars, so just wetting them up. But yeah, I think we're just probably dry ice it if I can find someone that can do it. If not, we'll just give it a quick little detail, clean that up, because it's really dusty, and this thing will look amazing once it's literally all cleaned up. It'll just look like a completely different car. I want to make sure this stuff gets all shiny, you know, because this is all dual. I washed all the panels that I took off. I washed everything, so it's clean, but it's just really dull. The only thing I didn't wash was like the valve covers, the timing cover stuff. I washed that, you know, when I had that off. But just wash pretty much everything, get all the dust off, get all the dirt off, and make it look really clean. And then get a tune in there, test it out, see how it goes. I know for a fact that pulley that's on that car, it's way too small. The car, the motor itself, it's rebuilt, but it still has literally the factory components. So You don't want to push these cars past like 400, 430, 450, you know, ish to the tire. I know with that pulley setup, that's like 500 horsepower, and that's engine braking horsepower right there. So I'm going to try to sneak a bigger pulley on there to lower the boost down. Other than that, it's got a new fuel pump, it's got Cobra injectors, it's got pretty much everything that it needs. So we'll get the tune, get the startup tune, see how it drives, see what we can fix if anything does go wrong, and then get it back to the customer hopefully by the next week or so, and move on to the next project. Heck yeah. But I just wanted to show you guys that. Like I said, I got it all pretty much done. It's going to look really clean, especially when it's all washed up. But that'll be your wrap for tonight. Like I said, I appreciate you guys for sticking with me. Make sure give a like button, hit the subscribe if you guys haven't already, and you guys want to see more content, more, you know, horsepower, more cars being built. Hit the subscribe button, because I plan on just filming pretty much everything and then uploading everything that I film. More projects, pretty much anything that I got going on in the shop, I'll make sure I film, because we got a lot of different things that we do. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.